Hey guys, I am back here to share some thoughts on the most recent WWE.com top 25 list that was posted on the website. They do a lot of these. They do some light-hearted ones that aren't really meant to be taken seriously. I mean, they've done the top 25 most bizarre matches of all time. They've done the top 25 scariest superstars of all time. They've done a good few of these that aren't really meant to be taken seriously, and I guess these lists as a whole aren't meant to be taken seriously at all because they're not promoted as something that the winner should cherish as a huge accomplishment or anything like that. But I am doing this video to share the thoughts on the top 25 big men lists because, you know, there are a lot of big men in this business, past and present, and it might be kind of interesting to see who people think is the best big man and who people think, whether people agree with this or not. I am sort of doing this as a video to do a video kind of mentality because I have not been doing that many videos lately for reasons that I explained in my last video. It's been a hard month, as I said before, and it'll be kind of strange once this is all over to wake up in the morning and have like several free hours in a day where I have a lot of free time. It's going to be kind of strange, kind of unfulfilling in a way almost. Still not actually ordered the King of Trios shows yet, for no other reason other than Smart Mark Video have run a sale every month this year, and I'm waiting to see if they're going to do this in the month of May. Not really expecting them to do it because it's King of Trios and people are going to buy that, sale or no sale. I'm going to buy it this week, whether it's a sale or not, because I really want to see those shows. But I did wait just to see if they would run the 25% off sale, because that would really be appreciated, but I didn't really expect them to. And one more thing before I get started, I finally reached 100 subscribers on this channel, so that's very good to see. Not really much on doing whole videos to celebrate the sub numbers I have, not really gone on that kind of thing, but I do appreciate the support. I do appreciate getting to the 100 sub level. It's kind of a milestone, I guess, so I can pat myself on the back for that and move on to the content of this video, which is of course the response to the top 25 big men in pro wrestling history according to the WWE. Now, you might ask yourself why bother responding to a lot of these lists, because of course the WWE will present their own version of history that will cater to their current audience, which is the kids, and they're not going to put in too many people that the kids won't recognize. But I have to say, on this one, they did seem to give a lot of respect to the past. In fact, I would say a kid seeing this list who has been watching the WWE for what, 4 or 5 years, maybe, would only know about 8 or 9 guys on this list. Maybe I'm not giving kids enough credit for their curiosity in regards to the wrestling business. I mean, when I was younger, you know, I got trivia books for birthdays and Christmas and the like, and if there were 1980s or 1990s trivia in there, you know, I'd be curious enough about that stuff. Maybe not all that much, but curious enough. So maybe I don't give kids enough credit for what they want to find out. But there is a lot of past guys on here. There's a lot of respect for the past. I'm not going to, of course, go into the whole 25. Not enough time for that. But I will go over the top 10. Interesting choices, I have to say. I don't really agree with number 1, which I will get into when I get to that point. But I will go over the top 10. Before that, though, number 11, I want to touch on that choice just briefly, because number 11 on this list is Bam Bam Bigelow. That to me is interesting because that to me really defines who Bam Bam was. Very underrated, recognized as being good, but never quite that good. Never quite, just beyond the point of being considered one of the best big men, because he's there at number 11, just shy of the top 10. That to me really defines what Bam Bam's career was. Just good, but not really good. So I wanted to point that out just briefly, because I do think that that's exactly where he should be, number 11. I'm glad to see him there. Glad to see him. Actually glad to see him above some other choices on this list. So that was good to see. Number 10 is Sid. Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, whatever you would like to call him. You know, I can see this. You know, I can see this for no other reason other than I think that Sid, the fact that Sid had a very impressive physique, the fact that Sid was a big guy, was the sole thing that got him through his entire career, and he's able to say that he's a 2-time WWF champion, a two-time WCW champion, and he can say he had a pretty decent career overall, just based on the fact that he had a good body, and I guess that afforded him some natural charisma. I mean, he definitely couldn't wrestle that much, but I can definitely see him being in the top 10 for no other reason than his physique was really important to his career, and really important to the successes that he had, and really important to the fact that he actually managed to main event 2 WrestleMania, surprisingly. So I can see him being 10. I can see that. Number 9 is Vader. You know, they recognize his time in WCW and his title reigns in WCW. Definitely an underrated big man as well, I would say. He definitely had a great look that complemented his size, and he has put on some very good matches, I would say. Probably from guys that carried him a little bit, well, not a little bit, a lot, to a good matches. But that's not a shame. That's no shame to him. Good wrestler, I would say. Deserves to be in the low part of the top 10, yes, but in the top 10 regardless, I would say. So I've got no problems there. Diesel. Kind of interesting that they would put Kevin Nash here, considering that he's still with TNA. Kind of interesting that they're going to be leaning into there, even though they're not going to mention him by name, by the name Kevin Nash. Does he deserve to be on the top 10 based on his WWF 90s appearances as Diesel? I would not say so. I don't think he has quite enough. Definitely to be on this list, I would say he deserves to be on the top 25 list. I don't think he comes quite within top 10 range based on just his performance under the Diesel name. Like, he was the champion, I guess, but I don't know, I'm not really sold on that. Obviously, once you combine his WCW time and everything he's done as Kevin Nash, he definitely deserves to be in the top 10, I would say. But just as Diesel, I'm not really sold on it. Not really completely sold on that. But, you know, as a wrestling fan, I can recognize Diesel as Kevin Nash and factor in the Kevin Nash accomplishments along with the Diesel accomplishments and say yes, he deserves to be there. So no complaints, really no complaints. Big Cat Ernie Ladd, I'm going to be honest, I've never seen a match. I mean, he's a 70s guy. You know, I just went off on how curious kids are for a few minutes there, but I'm guilty of not really looking up much 70s stuff. So I'm not really familiar with the guy, but, you know, nice to see some respect given to guys from the 1970s, from a while ago. That's nice to see that, I guess. Number 6, Kane. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. This has to be. He could have been 10 spots lower. I'm sorry, but have we ever seen Kane as anything more than, you know, from 1997 when he debuted up until 2005, the guy was a main event jobber. That's exactly what he was. Even when he was champion, the guy was a main event jobber. Because he was champion for, what, a day? Yeah. And then from 2005 up until present day, he's not even a main event jobber. He's a low card jobber. So, you know, this is ridiculous. He does not deserve to be in the top 10. He deserves to be in the top 25, sure, but not the top 10. I guess they want to. I don't know why they want to maintain the illusion that Kane is still relevant and has ever been anything more than a main event jobber, because, you know, they don't really promote him that way. So I don't know why they want to put him on this list in the top 10. Really don't see that. I don't really see that at all. That's the one that I really don't get, but we'll move on from that. Gorilla Monsoon, again, a guy I mainly know for his commentary, because I have seen more matches of his where he was commentating than when he was actually wrestling. Definitely a great personality on the commentary, and I'm guessing was good enough of a wrestler to be able to carry himself on commentary in a way that was, you know, respected by the people who were watching, because once they hear this guy go on about talking about what's going on in the ring and relating his own experiences to it, they can say that, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about because he must have been a good wrestler. I'm going to go that route with why Gorilla Monsoon is here, for no other reason other than, you know, I've only heard him commentate, never actually seen him wrestle, but, you know, that's fine. Good to see, again, respect for some past names. Yokozuna, number 4. I don't know if I'd say a top 5. I don't know if I would say a top 5. I mean, definitely a Royal Rumble winner, champion, you know, definitely top 10, but I'm not sure about top 5. Really not sure. He could have been in Kane's spot. You shove Kane down 10 spots, put Yokozuna at number 6. I would really have a problem with it, but top 5. Big Show, number 3. Expecting him to be number 1, pretty glad that he wasn't. He's exactly where he should be in my opinion, not at the top, but in the top 3. You know, you can't really have any problems with him being in the top 3. You know, he's had a pretty lengthy career, has remained consistently over based on his size, and he actually can work the mic pretty well, and he actually has worked some adequate to good matches over the years, and he has some world titles to his record as well, so definitely on board with having Big Show at number 3, right where he should be in my opinion. And number 2 is where they should have had number 1 in my opinion, Andre the Giant. You know, what other wrestler can you think of when you think of a big guy that was renowned for his size over nothing else, and was able to use that to main event at WrestleMania on his own, well, in a singles match, which Big Show did not do. He had a Fatal 4-Way match and draw a pretty big crowd doing it. You know, that to me is enough to be considered the number 1 big man. You know, The Undertaker, he's not going to be remembered for his size. He's going to be remembered for the gimmick, in my opinion. So I don't really see why they put him at number 1. I would have put Andre up there. That's just me. I'm out. Later.